Had a closing today, and I represented the sellers of real property. So the sellers have to pay a state tax and a city tax in New York for transfer purposes. It's called a transfer tax, state and city. Now, the property that my client sold was over $1 million, a residential home. The buyer had to pay, they paid a mortgage tax because they borrowed money from a bank. Then they also paid a mansion tax. In New York City, if you buy a residential dwelling for more than $1 million, you have to pay a mansion tax. So we had the seller, I had the sellers, and they paid those two taxes. Now, the other costs that the seller had is they had two realtors to pay. The realtor that listed the property for them, and then the realtor that located the buyer. So in terms of my client's expenses, they had two realtors, one real estate fee, which is split between two realtors, city tax, transfer, state tax. They had my fee, and that was, title closer. Title closer is the person that works for the title company. And if I set the stage, we were in my conference room, and on one side of the table was myself and my husband and wife client. Across the table was the attorney for the buyer, husband and wife buyers. There was a bank attorney, and there was a title company. So those are all the participants in the closing. And the only other interesting thing that took place is that in the days leading up to the closing, we do adjustments. That's the seller has to pay water and taxes until the day of closing, and the buyer pays and has those obligations from the day of closing forward. Now, we sent a checklist to the buyer's attorney, meaning a list of checks. That's what a checklist is, right? That's the real name of a check, not just your list of things to do and you check off your list. This is a list of checks that we're asking the buyer to bring to Realtor A, bring to Realtor B, make a check payable to our title company. That's for the taxes. Then make the balance check payable to the seller. And the buyers, in fact, did bring a portion of those funds with a bank check payable to the sellers, but the bank wanted to wire. The bank attorney wanted to wire the balance of the proceeds to the elderly clients. Banks love to wire. I'm not too happy with the wire, to tell you the truth. It would have been nice for them to get a paper check, feel a finality with the closing, and they leave. And instead, we had to make arrangements. What if the wire doesn't hit? What if it doesn't come? Don't record the deed until we get the wire. It's something you have to do. That is something we have to do. We have to wait for the wire. If you have any questions, reach out. FrankBrunoLaw.com.